Someone was tampering with time again. I could feel it in my head and in my gut, that sick, queasy sensation of unreality. I put my head down and gulped air, waiting for the discomfort to pass, but it only got worse. This was a bad one. Someone was tampering with something serious. This wasn't just someone reading tomorrow's papers and playing the stock market. This was serious. Someone was trying to change history. I couldn't allow that. Not only might his tampering interfere with my own past, change my whole life, possibly even wipe me out of existence. But I'd be shirking my job. I couldn't do that. Not that anyone would know. They must think I'm dead. I haven't been contacted in years now, not since I was stranded in this century. They must think I was lost when my machine and my partner vanished in the flux. But I'm not dead, and I had a job to do. With help from headquarters or without, with a partner or without, even with my machine or without, I had a job to do. A reality to preserve, a whole world to safeguard. I knew my duty. I know my duty. The past can't take tampering. I was dealing with primitives, with savages, not with civilized people. These beginning decades of the 21st century, with their bushfire wars and nuclear arms races, were a jungle. Even in the great cities of North America, I had a knife, a good one, with a 6-inch blade I had sharpened myself. Somewhere in that piece, someone was working to destroy my home, my life, myself. I turned again and felt the queasiness and pain leap within me, and I knew I was very close. I went north, then east, and the nausea gripped me tighter with every block. It became a gnawing pain in my belly as the world shimmered and shifted around me, an unstable reality. I stopped the car by the side of the street and forced the pain down, forced my perception of the world to steady itself. When I was ready to go on, I leaned over and checked in the glove compartment. No gloves. The name was already an anachronism even in this time period. But my gun was there. Not my service weapon. That's an anachronism too advanced. I don't dare use it. The knowledge of its existence could be dangerous. No, I had bought a gun here in this era. Downtown was firm, solid. Still rooted in the past and the present, and secure in the future. Facing in the opposite direction, I felt my gut twist. Insects sang somewhere. Strange insects extinct before I was born. I turned my head slowly, feeling the flux, feeling the shape of the time stream of my reality. They might send someone else, but they might not. The tampering might have already changed things too much. They might not spot it in time, or they might simply not have the manpower. Time travel lets you use your manpower efficiently, with 100% efficiency, putting it anywhere you need it instantly. But that's not enough when you have all of the past to guard. Everything from the dawn of time to the present. Not this present, the real present. You need 1 million men to guard it all, and they've always had trouble recruiting. I knew what I had to do. I had to stop the tampering, just as I had stopped it before, four times now. They might send someone else, but they might not, and I couldn't take that chance. I had to find the tamperer myself and deal with him. If I couldn't find him directly, if he wasn't in this time period but later, then I might need to tamper with time myself, to change his past without hurting mine. That's tricky, but I've done it. The temptations are too great. The dangers are too great. Look at me, stuck here in the past for the dangers. And as for the temptations, look at what I have to do. But people try to change everything, try to benefit themselves at the cost of reality itself. They need men they can trust, men like me, and there can never be enough of us. I walked up the front path and rang the bell. And the front door started to open. I threw myself against it. It burst in, and I went through it. I pointed the gun at his face and squeezed the trigger. The thing made a report like the end of the world, and the man fell. A woman screamed from a nearby doorway, and I pointed the gun at her, unsure. The pain was still there. It came from the woman. I pulled the trigger again. She fell, blood red on her blouse, and I looked down at her as the pain faded, as stability returned. I was real again. If the man were her husband, perhaps she was destined to remarry or to be unfaithful. She would have been the tamperer's ancestor, but he might not have been. The twisting of time had stopped only when the woman fell. A twinge ran through my stomach, perhaps only an after effect, but I had to be certain. I knelt and went quickly to work with my knife. When I was done, there could be no doubt that the two were dead and that neither could ever have children. I knew the papers would report it the next day as the work of a lunatic, of a deranged thief who panicked before he could take anything, or of someone killing for perverted pleasure. I didn't worry about that. I had saved history again. Sometimes I have nightmares about what I do. Sometimes I dream that I've made a mistake, killed the wrong person, that I stranded myself here. What if it wasn't a mechanical failure that sent the machine into flux? What if I changed my own past and did that to myself? I have those nightmares sometimes. Worse, though, the very worst nightmares are the ones where I dream that I never changed the past at all, that I never lived in any time but this one, that I grew up here alone, through an unhappy childhood and a miserable adolescence and a sorry adulthood that never traveled in time, that it's all in my mind, that I killed those people for nothing. That's the worst of all, and I wake up from that one sweating, ready to scream. Thank God it's not true.